Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Avanti Women's webinar, Healthy Beauty from the Inside Out. We're delighted to have Natalie Colalillo.
Colalillo.
My apologies if I've got your name wrong, Natalie. Presenting some really fascinating information about healthy beauty. And if we can go to the next slide, we'll see a little bit of background about Natalie. Here we go. Natalie's our guest speaker, and she describes herself as a multipreneur, one mission, many vehicles. So she accomplishes her mission through many vehicles, and she's extremely passionate about empowering women to achieve their happiness, health, and success. And as you see through this presentation, and I've had the delight of being able to see it in advance, she's passionate about nutrition and wellness. A founder and CEO of Happy Healthy Women, and I'll leave it to Natalie to tell you more about Happy Healthy Women and Airbond. So Natalie, over to you.
Thank you so much. Am I coming through okay?
Yes, perfect. Sound great.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I love Avanti Women, and I'm so thrilled to be doing this webinar this evening. And as you said, I'm a multipreneur, and what that means is I have one mission and many vehicles, and I have many businesses that fall under this one mission of helping women achieve their greatest happiness, health, and success. As you said, I'm the founder and CEO of Happy Healthy Women, which is a Canada-wide collective of women that are all striving towards their greatest happiness, health, and success. Many of them have found it and are leading the way and paving the way for others as well. And what we do is we combine health, wellness, happiness, and success as one full circle. You know, we really subscribe to the notion that, yes, women can have it all, and we want to show them how to do that in whatever way that means to them. And I'm also, as you said, a business owner with Arbonne, and Arbonne is a fantastic company that fell into my lap about 7 years ago. Many of you may know of it, some of you may not, but it is a beautiful company based in health, wellness, and greater success for all. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that a little bit later on as well. So what you're going to learn tonight, you're going to learn, you know, on this healthy beauty webinar that we're doing here, you know, it really is my goal to share with you why beauty starts from within. And I joke and say that healthy beauty is so much more than using toxin-free products. It really is about looking at all facets that make us up, and you know, beauty, what we show on the outside of our bodies is really the end result of everything else that's happening in our lives and with our health. So we're going to take a look at why beauty starts from within. We're also going to look at what to look for in beauty products and in products in general to make them toxin-free, and how to enjoy healthy aging. So we're going to go deep, and I'm going to share some, you know, insider pieces and some vulnerable pieces of myself and of my journey, just to sort of give you a back end of, you know, a background of where this all came from for me. There we go. So where it all began. I subtitled this "Education is Power" because that really, really is the case. So my wellness journey, you know, health, education, and cutting off society's handcuffs, that was the biggest piece for me in the last little while. So you're looking at the screen, you may see that on the left, that's me at age 14. That's me actually at my graduation party with my schoolmates, weighing 235 pounds. And when I look at that picture, I see fear, I see sadness, I see, you know, a girl that wasn't sure what was happening in her adolescent life, and you know, someone that was just innocent, I see, right? Just not knowing what was going on. And now, you know, this is me at 35 on the right, and I joke and say that I'm not caring about my weight number because I feel amazing. And I will be honest in saying that I actually haven't weighed myself in about 2 years, and it's the last 2 years have been the greatest 2 years of my life in terms of everything really, but also in terms of how I feel, how I look, and yeah, just my confidence and everything that has popped up for me. So how did this all happen? Well, a lot of it has to do with educating myself in the right ways. And when I say cutting off society's handcuffs, I mean to the dieting culture. I mean to everything that we're bombarded with. I mean to society's, view of what beauty actually is. And when we're talking about healthy beauty, when we're talking about healthy aging, it's so easy for us to automatically go to, oh, my wrinkles, oh, I need to get rid of these, oh, I need to drop 10 pounds, it's come on with age. And we tend to resist what years bring us, right? And what I want to share with you is a way for us to embrace what the years bring us, and so that you can feel amazing without having to measure how many wrinkles you have, or the pounds that you've put on, because it's really about cutting off those handcuffs to what the world thinks we should all be, and really starting to embrace your beauty from within. And having an education in health and wellness is what's really going to help you get there. So I'm just going to move on to the next slide, and I apologize, there's a little bit of a delay here. There we go. So beauty on the inside and outside. You are what you absorb through the gut and skin. So we're going to touch on, some of the, do's and don'ts of beauty, and the things that we're using, and the health aspect of it. So I didn't know this, but the average Canadian has about 20 synthetic chemicals stored in their bodies at all times. And I find that absolutely alarming. 20 synthetic chemicals, so chemicals that are made by human hands, and we have these in our bodies at all times. This piece on the right, the average woman wears 515 chemicals on the average day. What, right? And this looks like the things that we're putting on our bodies every single day. And we are, innocently washing our face and washing our hair and brushing our teeth and leaving the house as a clean human being. And little do we know that we are ingesting all of these chemicals, because 60% of what we actually put on our body or on our skin is absorbed into our body. And so it's no surprise that these synthetic chemicals are stored and are found within us. And so I want to also take a look at what's going in, because it's not just about what's on the outside, but what's going in our bodies. 70% of the Western diet is actually made up of dead processed foods. And so to give you a visual of dead processed foods, it's really anything in those center aisles of a grocery store, right? So when we look at the perimeter of the grocery store, we see that there's produce and, healthy stuff. And, we have our breads and our dairies, and I would even question some of that. But mainly it's actually food, right? That's happening around the grocery store. But when you look at what's within, it's a lot of processed, packaged, boxed food. And what's going on in those processed, packaged, boxed foods is way too much refined sugar. Meat, dairy, and poultry that are loaded with hormones, antibiotics, and fillers. Back in the day, a can of tuna was the healthiest thing you could eat. Not so much anymore. And all of these are known carcinogens. And basically what we're doing as a society is we are overfeeding ourselves, but undernourishing ourselves with foods that our bodies actually cannot absorb. And, back to society's handcuffs, well, their answer to weight loss is, or to health and to beauty is eat less, exercise more, count your calories, restrict, and stop eating carbs for life. And what that has us do is focuses on a short-term fix rather than a lifestyle change, right? So we are looking at, okay, I've got to lose 10 pounds for a wedding that I have coming up, or I've got to fit into this bikini for the summer, versus I need to change my life for the better so that I can live long, enjoy all of the moments in my life, and be as healthy as I can for the people around me and for myself. So when we look at how these toxins are affecting our bodies, and I know I'm going in a different direction than just beauty, but trust me, we'll get there. How are these toxins actually affecting our bodies? Well, when the liver is overburdened, the body actually stores toxins in the safest place, which is the fat cells, and particularly around the middle. So if any of you are suffering from, maybe some extra bloat, what we, so nicely like to call our love handles, it could be that it's a toxic buildup in your system. And so what this leads to, and again, because we touched on what's going on our bodies as well, this adds to that toxic buildup, right? So it's in and on. That leads to a clogged and sluggish system. And it's very much like a bathtub with a clogged drain, right? If you have tons of stuff in that drain, eventually the water is not going to go down as smoothly. And that's exactly what happens to our bodies. The toxic effect spills over and it affects the body's systems. So, everything happening on the inside then starts to show up on the outside. So I have a lot of, people that I speak to and clients and friends of mine that will say, I'm thin, or, I'll see that they're thin and that's great, but they'll have, mega skin irritations and things like psoriasis and eczema and acne. Adult acne is a big one. And so it's not necessarily that, they're eating to be overweight, but they may be eating to be toxic, right? And so we want to look at that. So we want to clear the drain. We want to maximize our body's detoxification pathways. And, just for knowledge's sake, our body's avenues for elimination include the kidneys, the liver, the bowels, the lungs, and the skin. And so when all of those are functioning optimally, what starts to happen on the inside is that our body starts to do what it's meant to do and what it's supposed to do. It starts to function optimally. And when the inside of our body starts to function optimally, the outside of our body is like a window into that, right? And so you can see it on the outside of our body, including in our skin, in our hair, in our eyes. If you ever look at someone who's, on a very, very clean lifestyle, you will see that their eyes are so clear everywhere on our bodies. So what to look for? Beauty really starts with making smart choices. And it starts slow. This is not an overnight thing, but it does start with education. And once you're educated, you can't unlearn what you know. So we start by making smart choices as we go. And, on the inside, my biggest suggestion is to focus on whole foods eating. So when I say whole foods eating, I mean lots and lots of fresh veggies and fruit and produce. Things like brown rice, things like quinoa, things that are just really in their wholest form as possible. Organic foods where possible. A lot of the foods that we buy are sprayed and, they're just full of toxins. So at the end of the day, what we're eating is less healthy than how we think it is, right? Even though it's a vegetable or a fruit. So organic where possible. And again, this is a gradual thing. It was for me, for sure. And I started to realize, and there is a list out there called the Dirty Dozen that you can find that shares with you, the main things that you should be buying organic, and then the things that you can actually get away with that don't really need to be organic. And on that list, berries are very, very absorbent of the chemicals that are sprayed on them. So, berries are one thing that I always buy organic, and things like that. Avocados, bananas, potatoes, those are things that you can maybe get away with. So just a really interesting fact. And we want to focus on avoiding inflammatory, triggering, and addictive foods. Now, on a side note to this, I actually walk people through a 30-day detox. And so when I talk to people about the detox, these are the things that I talk to them about avoiding. Now, the reason why we have this list of avoiding, it's only for these 30 days or 60 if people wish to continue on with the detox. However, the reason why we suggest avoiding these for at minimum 30 days is because once you start to introduce these slowly, you may start to see that you may start to find which ones your body really does not like, and which ones your body is totally okay with, right? And this happened to me. I started to really figure out, okay, my body is not good with gluten. Like, it just bloats up. I started to realize that dairy makes me really, really congested, and I found myself constantly blowing my nose. Soy, I'm actually okay with. Sugar, moderation. Alcohol, I'm actually okay with, but again, in moderation. And coffee, I do once a day. So what this taught me was, okay, I'm going to stay away from gluten and I'm going to stay away from dairy, because those two things don't make me feel great. But these are all inflammatory, and they're triggering, and they're addictive. So we want to get a handle on which ones we actually feel our worst with. And so in our detox, we do eliminate them all so that we can figure that out. And then supplements. Supplements, it's sometimes there's an argument there with supplements with some people, because sometimes you hear, well, I'm on a whole foods-based diet, so I don't need any supplements. And my answer to that is fantastic. But just make sure you're being 100% diligent. Make sure you know exactly, how many nutrients you're taking in, because sometimes someone will say they're on a whole foods diet and they don't need supplements, but they'll have a bagel and a coffee for breakfast, which has no nutritional value whatsoever. And so they're not really filling their body with any nutrients until they, have a salad or some lean protein. So supplements, you want to make sure that when you're looking at supplements, you're looking at them from a whole foods based perspective. You want to be purchasing supplements that are foods based. And you also want to be making sure that if you are on the go and, sometimes you're microwaving a meal when you have to, or whatever the case, that you are getting supplements, because 90% of the time, most people are not. They're not, we're in such a fast-paced world that we're not really getting all of the nutrition that we need. And so foods-based supplements really, really help on that spectrum. And on the outside, so 26 seconds is all it takes for chemicals in your personal care products to actually enter your bloodstream. I found that crazy, right? We're all showering for way more than 26 seconds. So, think about that, right? And think about the things that we're using in our personal care everyday products, and then the things that we rub in, the things that, like sunscreens that we rub in, not thinking, wow, this is full of chemicals, or lotions and potions and all of that stuff. So you want to be looking for products that are pure, preferably certified vegan. And I will tell you that certified vegan products, the reason why they're called vegan is because they eliminate animal byproduct and animal colors that come from animals, like dyes. It eliminates fats that come from animals. And as we've learned, toxins store themselves in fats. So when you're buying product that's not vegan and it's an emollient product, it's like a lotion or a wash, chances are you're getting animal fats in that product to bulk it up as an extra filler, and chances are there's toxins in those fat-based products. So we want to be sure that we're using certified vegan products, botanically based products. So chances are if you're buying a vegan product, they're not using animal fats. They have to rely on plant fats and essential oils. So botanically based. We want safe products that are pH correct. So products that when we put them on our skin, it'll bring our skin back to that neutral place. So when you're using pH correct products, you're not suffering from very, very dry skin or very, very oily skin. Your skin is neutral. Hyperallergenic products, dermatologist tested, not just recommended. And I have had many people say to me, well, my dermatologist recommended XYZ product. And when I look at the ingredients in that product, it's basically, chemicals, petrolatum, and like that's from gasoline. So dermatologists are recommending products, yes, but are they testing products? So we want to make sure of that. Beneficial, products that have proven results. So where are you seeing results? When I'm talking on, products as a whole, but I also, and as I mentioned, I have a business with Arbonne, and when I share these products, I share them with full confidence, because we do have proven results. We have US and Swiss patents, and these patents, they guarantee that the formulation that we use are much more stricter, and we abide by strict and safe standards. You know, that the products are recyclable, so good for the environment as well, and cruelty-free. We don't test on animals. We never have in 37 years. And so this is what we want to be looking out for. And there's a whole list. We have over 2,000 chemicals that are banned from our products. But these are the ones that when you're looking for products, whether it be Arbonne or not, you're looking for products that don't contain mineral oil, which again is from the gasoline industry. It's what's left over after they make gasoline. Petrolatum, petroleum, no waxes, formaldehyde. Unfortunately, formaldehyde is found in many products to preserve it, and so we don't want that. You know, a couple of these other ones that are we've heard before, phthalates. Phthalates are what bind fragrances, synthetic chemical fragrances together, so that you smell of that all day long. But what that's doing is it's really affecting your hormonal system. It's an endocrine system blocker, and you know, when we look at things that are disrupting our hormonal system, it's actually throwing things off, right? It's throwing off all of the hormones and the what should be happening naturally in our reproductive systems, and it's really taking away from that. So we don't want to be using phthalates. Chemical dyes, parabens. Parabens are man-made substances, again, that are found in many deodorants, unfortunately, where we apply it, especially as women, we apply it so close to the breast. And so we don't want parabens in any of our products. As I said, no animal product or byproduct, harmful levels of chemicals and chemical fragrances. So be reading your labels, really be seeing what's on there, right? If it's full with parfum, that's a chemical fragrance. That's in there to mask something, and it's not great to be putting that on our body. So let's talk about healthy, beautiful aging. And my thing here is do not fight it, because one thing we can't fight is time. But on the other side of that is that, you know, the years bring so much beauty to our lives that if we only embraced it, you know, that would show up on our skin and in our bodies just as much. So tips for healthy, beautiful aging. You know, the first thing here is keep your mindset positive. And I'm sure that, you know, if you're a member of Avanti Women, then you know the importance of a positive mindset. You know, what are you listening to? What are you reading? These are things that, you know, are really important because we absorb them into our minds, and that ends up being our daily energy. Are you part of a beautiful community of people? You know, it's interesting when you think about community. I would literally shrivel up and die without community, and that's why I created Happy Healthy Women for the women around me, so that we could have other women to connect with, to collaborate. We need to be among other humans. So who is your community? And if you don't have one, get out there and find. And Avanti Women, again, provides a beautiful space to be with your community. Keep your heart happy, you know, and this may sound cliche, but what's the first feeling you have in the morning when you open your eyes? Is it, or is it, yes, I can't wait to live this day, you know? And if it's the first, then you need to maybe do a little bit of work in there. So what does that mean? Well, maybe that means meditation. Maybe that means counting your blessings. You know, one of the things I ask my husband when there's a little bit of heaviness there is, you know, can you name 5 things you're grateful for? And that automatically changes the mood and it changes the vibe. So gratitude, meditation, all of this shows up on the outside of your body, because this energy, this has a sound, this has a taste, this has a smell, and it shows up in your cells on the outside of your body and on the inside. Eat and move like you love yourself. You know, there have been times where I'll be, you know, it's maybe a long weekend and you're at a cottage with friends and you're enjoying your life, and you know, all of a sudden you look at yourself on Monday and you're thinking, oh my goodness, did I really eat and drink all of that this weekend? And that's okay, because you're enjoying, but are you doing that on a regular basis, right? Are you eating like you really love yourself, like you're giving your body exactly what it wants? Are you moving like you love yourself? You know, and for me, this was about, again, no more gym memberships for me, right? Like for me, gym memberships, the minute I walked into the gym, I was like, oh God, right? Just get me through this next 90 minutes. And now it's like I leave my house and I go outside and I'm like thrilled to be in nature. And so I move like I love myself. And when I say that, like today was mostly a walk and a little bit of a jog. But sometimes what moving like I love myself feels like is sprinting. And sometimes it's me in my home when it's raining outside and blaring Michael Jackson and dancing. So move like you love yourself, and that will show up again on the inside and the outside of your body. And use clean and pure products on the inside and the outside of your body. So some solutions. I couldn't let this, webinar go by, this call go by without showing you some solutions that I personally use. I've been fortunate enough to help people for the last 7 years use and change the way that they see themselves, change up, the way that their skin feels and looks, change up the way that the inside of their body feels and looks. And this has been a complete blessing in my life, and I love doing it, and I love sharing it with others. So on the left, we have our Arbonne RE9 Healthy Aging Skincare. And I have to say that when I first saw this 7 years ago, I thought, oh my gosh, I will never use that many products. Don't even show me them. I use a wash and you're lucky if I get a moisturizer on there. But when I started to really take part in this beautiful routine, I started to really realize the importance of that, 2 minutes of self-care love, both in the morning and at night. And let alone the ingredients in these products, they're gold standard ingredients. They are Swiss formulated. And what I love about these is that because they're vegan, they don't, add animal collagen to your skin and hope for it to plump up. What they actually do is they help your skin rev up its own ability to produce collagen. And, with all of the amazing, incredible botanicals and essential oils in there, it really, really helps to elongate that time that your skin is producing its own collagen. So I absolutely love this line, and immediate results have been seen by me for sure. And then on the right, you'll see our Arbonne Essentials nutrition products. And these products have absolutely changed my life. They are completely plant-based, which actually a year ago I made the transition to having a completely plant-based lifestyle and diet. And these were the most amazing products to help me make that transition seamlessly. And so you'll see different things like a protein shake mix and an herbal detox tea and a fiber boost, an energy fizz, which is ginseng and B12s, and just things that are really going to give you a boost of energy without giving you the slump that sometimes coffee does in the afternoon. So these are all completely plant-based. They are whole foods-based supplements as well. We do have a clean eating and detox plan that I was mentioning, and what we do in this detox plan is we have meal plans and we have recipes that we share with this community, and it's a food-based detox, and then we supplement and we add these amazing nutrition products in so that your body can start to function optimally, right? Most people aren't getting enough fiber, and so we help them get as much fiber as they need in order to help those parts of their body eliminate properly. And so I always offer this out. My next detox group, we're running one right now, and the next one starts on September 3rd. And you are all welcome to join me on that detox and to kickstart into healthier habits and to your most happiness, health, and success. And what you'll notice is our results. And so, here is a look at me. This is actually my body. I cut off my head, but this was after 60 days on my plan. And what you'll notice is clear skin. You'll notice weight and fat loss. So you can see that that's pretty apparent in my pictures. Clear thinking, right? Mind health is just important as every other aspect of our bodies. And when we have mind fog, it's normally from what we're eating and what we're putting in and on our bodies. Better breathing, less congestion, more energy. So no longer do we have these 3 p.m. slumps where we need a coffee and a chocolate, right? We are fueling our body with the right things. less reliance on stimulants. So we're not addicted anymore. We don't need that coffee and that sugar, although we're happy to have it, but we just don't need it, which is great. So those cravings will stop. And, you know, for me, again, because I don't weigh myself, I had to look at this from the pant size perspective. And so from January 1st to March 1st, I was able to shrink in 2 pant sizes, and I was able to cut out all of that bloating that you can see. And I've continued just in the way that I eat. It's no longer about, you know, restriction or anything like that. I felt so good coming off this plan that I wanted to just simply continue this in my way of life. And so for any Avanti members that are out there and you're hearing this or you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, I could really use this, here's what I'm offering. Because I am so very grateful for being asked to do this, and I love the women that lead this. I'm offering 40% off either our skincare or nutrition packages or both. So if you're interested in any of those, my contact information is there. I'm also offering free shipping on any of these. And the beauty of this business is that our products get shipped directly from our warehouse to your door, usually the next day after you order, which is phenomenal. And so that shipping is free. And I'm also offering a free gift of up to $120 value, which you would be able to pick from a list. And so get in touch with me. My information is there, Natalie at happyhealthywomen.ca, or feel free to text or call me at my number 416-792-1271.
Well, thank you so much, Natalie. That was absolutely amazing and inspirational. I really enjoyed watching this presentation many times and just continued to be inspired by your message. And I really believe that it's not about what we're denying ourselves, but how we are actually gifting ourselves this gift of healthy beauty. So I really appreciate that, and I hope that the Avanti Women members will take advantage of that very generous offer. And thank you again so much for doing this session for us tonight.
Oh, it was my pleasure, and I love all of you so very much, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of this community. So thank you very much for asking me.
Great. Thanks so much, and I'm going to sign off now. Thanks, Natalie. Good night, all.
Have a great night. Bye.